Hi everyone, my name is Shanice and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about all of the series that I want to start in 2021. If you know me, then you know that I'm very terrible at finishing up series, and I do have a video all about that. Today I really want to talk about all of the series that I've been so interested in and may also have been slightly intimidated by, and I just really want to make it my goal to read them in 2021. Let's just dive into it. Some of these books I already own and some of these are still on my wish list and I am waiting kind of with buying books until after my birthday, which is the 29th of December this month. Usually I do get like some gift cards or books for my birthday, but if not, I am gonna be buying them in 2021 for sure. So the first series that I really want to get into, and it is one of the most intimidating ones on my TBR, is the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. I do have the first 3 copies. I picked them up, or actually my mom bought them for me in a thrift store, and so I do have them in Dutch, but I kind of want to try them and see if I like them in Dutch. I usually do not like to read translated works from English into Dutch. It usually just doesn't read as well, but I'm just gonna try and see how it goes. So we have Het Oog van de Wereld, which is the Eye of the World. We have De Grote Jacht, which I think is The Great Hunt. Yeah, The Great Hunt. And then we have The Herese Draak, Dragon Reborn or something like that. The Dragon Reborn, yes. So I love these covers. First of all, the really old school fantasy covers. I've been hearing the most amazing things about this series. It's just a very classic fantasy series, and I do feel like I just need to try and read it as someone who does love to read fantasy. So I just want to do it. And in one of my live streams, we did talk about that I might host a read along for this. So let me know in the comments down below if you would be up for just reading along with me with these books, because they are intimidating but also great, I think. And if we can read them together, I for sure would be way more motivated to start them. But it is definitely one of the series that I want to start reading in 2021. All I really know about it is that it's just a really big epic fantasy series, and I also know that Brandon Sanderson finished it up. So I definitely think after these 3 I will move on to the original English books, but there's like 10 plus books in this series. I'm not even sure. So definitely will be entertained for a while with these ones. The next series that I really want to get into, and I did order the first book already, but it's not here yet, is June by Frank Herbert, I believe. This is another really classic book that I just feel like I really want to read just to at least have read it. And it's a sci-fi, and I think it was written in the 60s. So yeah, definitely a classic one. And it's still so loved, and I still see so much praise for it. I decided to finally order it because I was eyeing it for a while, like a long while. The way it is also a bit about like global warming / I think you work with like ecologists or something. It's just so interesting to me, and it's a sci-fi book, and I believe I don't really know too much about it, but I do believe that it is in a different planet. I don't think it's Earth, and this planet is very dry. There's almost no water, and there's also this kind of special substance that gives you kind of almost magical powers maybe, or just enhances your natural abilities. So that's very coveted. So there's also like a political struggle to control this planet because, you know, it has this really coveted magical substance. So yeah, I'm just really excited to try and read it, and I do believe that it is a whole series. I believe one of the books is also called Messiah or something, so definitely something I want to get into. And I also heard that it's now becoming a movie or a series as well. I'm not that into movies or series. Of course I will watch them, but I'm more into books. But still, I might, if I love the book, I might also watch the series or movie, whatever it's gonna be. So yeah, that's another one that I really want to read in 2021. Sticking with the sci-fi team, another series that I don't own but I'm hoping to get it soon is the Expanse series, and the first one is Leviathan Wakes. Oh gosh, that one has been on my radar for a long while. It's been on my wish list for a really long time, but I usually don't immediately buy books. I kind of wait and see if I'm still interested after a while and stuff like that. I try to be mindful about it, but having read more sci-fi now and it just keeps being recommended, I'm so excited to read it. I think it's more of an action-packed military sci-fi, and it's also focused a bit on the crew, which is one of the things I love about sci-fi. If we kind of have this crew that, you know, they're friendly and bantering, but they're also kind of different from each other. That's something I really love. That's all I know about it, and I do believe it's also a series. So again, might watch it after I've read the books. And the reason I'm really excited to finally start reading it in 2021 too is that I've heard that the final book will be published in 2021. And I really love the satisfying feeling of knowing that a series is finished and I won't have to wait for an ending. The ending is there, it's wrapped up. So yeah, another series I'm just dying to get into. So another book that unfortunately does not have a dust jacket, but that I really want to read, or another series that I want to get into. But the first book is The Demon King in the Seven Realms series by Cinda Williams Chima. Fun story is that I tried to buy from Amazon's marketplace, but at the time we didn't have one in the Netherlands, only a German one, and they said it was in perfect condition. However, it came without a dust jacket, definitely not in perfect condition, and if I wanted to return it, it would cost me quite a lot of money, so I just decided to keep it because in the end I just want to read the book, and it really isn't the worst thing in the world to not have the dust jacket anyway, but I'm still really excited to read it. I think I bought this like a year ago or almost a year ago, and I just really want to get into it. So hopefully 2021 is the time when I will start this. I think this is a pretty beloved like YA fantasy series. It's a bit of an older one, and I do believe that it's already finished, and there's also other series in the same world. I'm not really hearing much about it now, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it in the past, which is why I decided to buy this. Kind of forgot what it's all about. I think we have multiple POVs and just a really extensive big fantasy world. That's all I know, and it's on my shelves forever now. So I'm really excited to start this in 2021 too. Alright, let's go to a middle grade series that I'm excited to start. Once again, I do not own the books, but I'm hoping to own them very soon anyway. And it's the Nevermoor series by Jessica, I forgot her last name, but the cover is on the screen so you can see it for yourself. She recently released a third book in this series, and her covers are amazing. I really wish I could get my hands on the UK covers, but the first one is being sold for like 300 euros on eBay, so not doing that. Anyway, I'm only hearing the most amazing things about Nevermoor, and even from people that don't usually love middle grade, they still really love this series. I really like middle grade, so I think it's going to be great. I believe this is about a girl who is kind of the cursed girl in her village, and so she's destined to die on her 12th birthday, I don't know, but before that can happen, she actually gets kind of swept away by this magical man to become his apprentice. That's kind of all I know, and it just sounds so much fun and really magical and cozy and cute, and I'm really excited to read it. And yeah, so the third book has recently released, so I definitely want to read the first 3 books in 2021 hopefully. Another one that I want to get into, but I'm not sure what the name of this series is The Falconer by Elizabeth May. This is kind of an older, more classic YA, and I got this in a giveaway, I don't know, months ago, and I still haven't read it. And I think it's just gonna be a very quick, fun YA series, and it's about a girl. She's called Lady Elena Cameron. She's like a lady by day, but she is a badass Fae assassin by night. So she murders Fae because I believe they have murdered her mother, so now she's on a revenge streak. So it just sounds amazing and so much fun. I also recently saw Sam from Thoughts on Tomes talk about this series, and she recommended it for the Mentors to Lovers trope. So I'm also really excited by that. So definitely really excited to start this in 2021 too. Alright, back to some adult fantasy. Another series I really want to get into is the Witcher series, or is it called the Witcher series? Yes. By Andrzej Sapkowski. I've owned this copy, Blood of Elves, for literal years. I played a bit of the video game and I thought it was really cool, and then I think my partner at the time gifted this to me. I don't even remember, to be honest. We both thought this was the first book in the series, but it's recommended to read these short stories first. So that's why I've never picked this up in all these years, because I was like, yeah, I need to buy the short story someday. And then when I recently was in my local bookstore, they had this one and it was marked down. The price was marked down, you know, it was kind of on sale. So I decided to get it. It's The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski, and this is like the official first book, and I think you also need to read Sword of Destiny, and then you can move on to Blood of Elves and kind of the whole series. So definitely excited to read this. Then I still need to get my hands on Sword of Destiny. Yeah, my wish list and my to buy list is ridiculously large. Anyway, so I do need to get the other short story collection, and then I can move on to this. But I'm really excited to get into this. I've also seen the first season of The Witcher. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the video game. I just know I'm going to love this really intriguing fantasy world. I'm very curious to see how the writing will be and the translations and stuff like that. So also very excited to get into this in 2021. Another book that I also do not own yet, but that I really want to get into is kind of the second trilogy in the Realm of the Elderlings series by Robin Hobb. first trilogy is right here. Four-star trilogy, I think it's a four-star trilogy. Whoa, that took a long while. I'm currently still in the middle of the third book, but I'm hoping to finish that up in December or somewhere this month, and before the year ends anyway, so I will have finished the first trilogy and I can move on to the second trilogy, which is, I think, the Life Ship Traders trilogy is what it's called. And I've heard that it's like even better than the four-star trilogy. At least a lot of people like it more, so I'm definitely excited. We get multiple points of view instead of just the one with Fitz, and I also believe it's very action-packed and again very sad because Robin Hobb just likes to torture us all. It's what she does, I guess. So I am probably gonna need to emotionally prepare myself, but I'm also very, very excited. I really love her writing. I think she's a great author, and so I'm really excited to read more by her. Another series that I want to get into, and you can see it right here, is the Shannara series by Terry Brooks. I do have to say that at the time I bought this, I wasn't aware. Someone commented on my video that it is apparently 40 books or something. So I'm first gonna limit myself to this trilogy that I have here and see how I'm liking it. If I'm really liking it, I will continue. This is also another trilogy that I think this was back in April of this year where I was already mentioning I maybe wanted to host a read along for that. So again, just a big fantasy series. If you guys are in the mood for it, please let me know and I will host read-alongs for it, I guess. But yeah, this is another really classic series, and I actually owned the first book because I used to work at libraries throughout my whole teenage years basically, and then also in my early 20s, although I'm still kind of in my early 20s, but like when I was 20, 21, and we were able to or allowed to pick up books that we were no longer going to be using, I guess. So before they went in the library sale, the people that worked at the library could just take home whatever they wanted, and I took home the first book in the Shannara series. So I have read it when I was 15 or 16. I've also watched a few episodes of the show, but I barely remember anything. I think there's elves, it's a really cool fantasy, and there's a main character who's a boy, and he might be more powerful than he thought. He's kind of the chosen one. All I remember. So I'm definitely really excited to start reading this trilogy. I think it's just something I will really love, and again, a bit more of a classic series that I just really want to have read. Another series that I so want to get into, and Erin from Book 10 Busy, she has been raving about this series non-stop and I just really need to get into. And the first book is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winters. This is a very popular new fantasy series and it just sounds so cool, and it's more of a revenge story, I believe, so I'm definitely excited. The second book released this year. I really need to get on that, and I'm just so excited to read it. I don't know, like I said, it's a revenge story, and as far as I know, there are, I think, women, I hope this is right, but I think there are women that can kind of call down these dragons and then they can enrage the men, and so they are more powerful and they can fight. And then our main character also wants to take revenge on this whole kind of regime thing, so I believe that he will be able to enter kind of the army and get these powers too, but then he's just hell-bent on taking revenge for this kind of traumatic event that happens at the beginning. It sounds so good. It's been getting glowing reviews, so I'm definitely really excited to start that in 2021 too. Another series that I want to start, although I think it's only a duology and they're more companion novels, but still, I again don't own it yet, but it's Kings of the Wild. All I know about this is that it's like a fantasy series, and I believe someone has said that it's kind of based on a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which is so much fun. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons now and I'm having the best time, so I'm very excited about it. And it's kind of this band of heroes that are kind of already retired, but I think one of them, their daughter or something, is in trouble, and so they have to pick up their weapons back up, you know, and get back into it and save her. And I've been hearing that it's so much fun and so entertaining and funny, and I'm so excited to read this. And then you also have Bloody Rose, and I think that's more of a companion novel. I'm not really sure. I also don't know what that one is about, but I'm definitely really excited to read those two. All right, the next series that I want to get into is the Vampire Academy series by Richelle Mead. This I got gifted by a subscriber, so thank you very much. I'm so excited to get back into this and kind of get a trip down memory lane, because this was one of my obsessions when I was a teenager. I think I was like 16 maybe when I read at least the first 3 or 4. I'm not sure if I've read all of them, but it was just when I got a Kindle and a world opened up for me, because I could finally also read in English and there were so many books available to me to read, and this was one of my favorites. This is all about this main character called Rose, and she's a half vampire, and she goes to this kind of vampire academy where there's also full-blooded vampires, and the half vampires get kind of trained to protect the full-blooded vampires. And it's also about her and her crush that she has on her. I'm not really sure if he's also like kind of a mentor of sorts. And you'll also have these kind of evil vampires too. And it's just so much fun, and I definitely want to start rereading these in 2021 too. Another series that I only own the first book of as of yet, because I do want to see if I like it, but I have a feeling I'm going to love it and I will need the other books in the trilogy as soon as possible, is The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. This is, I'm not really sure what this series, oops, oh, it's still in here. So I got this gifted from Stephanie. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm not sure what this series is called, but yeah, the first one is The City of Brass, about a girl called Nari, and she's the main character. She lives in 18th century Cairo, and she's a con woman of unsurpassed talent. And then I think she accidentally summons a djinn of some sort, and he takes her to the City of Brass. And I believe it's kind of a political fantasy as well, and very magical, and it's been getting so much praise, and I'm so hyped for this, and I've been wanting to start it for months, but I keep putting it off because I feel like I'm really gonna love it and I kind of want to binge it. I don't know. All right, my ring light just died on me. I'm sorry. The light is now not as great, but yeah, I'm just really excited to read this, and hopefully in 2021 I'll just be able to binge the whole trilogy. All right, we're down to the last 2 books, guys. So another duology, or I think now a 3rd book will also be releasing, that I really want to get into is Fishes by V.E. Schwab. It's actually a bit of a banged up copy. I didn't realize at the time I bought it at the bookstore, but there's like half a page missing and stuff. Anyway, all I know about this is that this is kind of the villain origin story kind of these 2 guys. They discovered a way to get superpowers, and then they also, something went wrong. They started off as really great friends, and now they're like enemies. Ooh, yeah. So 10 years later, Victor breaks out of prison, determined to catch up to his old friend, now foe, aided by a young girl with a stunning ability. It sounds cool, and I know so many people love it, so I'm really excited to finally start reading this. And the last, I think this is a trilogy, the last series that I really want to get into is Wolfsong by TJ Klune. This is a paranormal romance. It's an LGBTQ+ romance. I believe TJ Klune is queer himself, so he only writes queer stories, and I'm really excited. This has been getting so much love too. This was also a gift. So yeah, thank you so much to the people who have gifted me books. I'm so thankful. And this is about Ox. I feel like he's had a bit of a sad childhood, and then when he was 16 he meets a boy who lives close by him, and that boy turns out to be a werewolf. But when he was 23, the boy that he met, he left town, and then 3 years later he returns, and I think it's their romance, and it sounds so cute and sweet and sad and magical and just like something I would love. So I'm also really excited to start reading this. All right, that's it, guys. Those are all the books and series mostly that I really want to get into in 2021 and just start reading and have so much fun. I think they're all going to be amazing, and I'm just so excited to read them. So yeah, let me know if any of these you also want to read in 2021, if you want to join in on any of the read-alongs. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, please consider doing so, and I will see you next time, hopefully soon. Bye bye.